Hello, this is Duncan reporting for MG Stories, and we are back in the garage. And it's that time. It's that time to start dismantling the poor baby and getting it down to some barer bones so we can start to build it back up again. So very early part of what we've done, taken the steering rack out, and the steering rack looks to be unscathed. Here it is featured next to a donated steering rack from Christy. Thanks, Christy. But at least to the naked eye, it might not be too bad, or it might be. So we'll have a look. We'll put a ruler against it. It might be a little bit off, but we'll see. And so yeah, just going to be taking off panels. I'm still waiting for the guy Agop, who does the frame straightening, to come and have a look. But estimates are that this wheel here is 2 inches closer to that wheel than it should be, and that's going to need some TLC. And you can see this is really obvious. We've now taken the steering rack off, and you can see the damage to the pulley wheel just there. And we're going to be checking the engine to make sure that that is all on the surface, and it isn't something that's deeper in there causing a bigger problem. Because replacing that is a couple of $100, but it is just something that comes off. I pulled it off 20 times in the spring trying to get to the leak behind the timing chain cover. But fingers crossed that's the only problem there. Otherwise, there's engine work to do, and that means longer time, more expense, more expertise. So hopefully it's just body, but we'll see. You can see creases there. That's going to need knocking out. Crease under there. You can definitely see a crease there. Look at that there. That's just all been squished in a little bit. So it starts. So dismantling, I'll give you more updates as we go along, and stay tuned. And we're back, and we've made some progress from a dismantling perspective in preparation for a visit from Agop tomorrow evening. And he's going to take a look and tell me what's what, and we start to prep the car for some straightening, hopefully. Now, so yes, I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see what we've done, and I can show you some of more of the damage. So you can see you've taken the front grille off, and more significantly, taken this wing off. It's now on the floor, being compared to a Roadster wing from Christy. And there's definitely some differences there, so I'm going to have to make a decision there with what I do with the wing, whether there's some grafting or whether I look for a different one. But more importantly, on the inner wing, you can see the damage. You can see the obvious bits down the front here, but the bits that are more concerning, you can see there's a crease in the metal there. You can see that I showed you under there, there's definitely a crease in the metal there. And that's probably the most significant, because when that's creased, that's behind all this, which means that this whole thing has shifted backwards. And then other bits you can see related to that is a bulge in the metal just on the end of my fingertips, just there. So that means the cross member has been moved back. And then you can see a crease there, and that kind of thing. So definitely needs a bit of straightening. If I was to drive down the road in this now, it would be like a crab going sideways down the beach. So it would not be pretty. But as you can see, it's just metal. It's my baby, but we can get it back. And you can see where other things have been replaced, because the original car I thought was green, but that inner wing there is a rather purple colour. So at some point that wing's been replaced. And yes, it's lived a life. We'll be back with more with Agop here, and got Joe coming round on Saturday morning, and we're going to before we take the engine out, we're going to turn the engine to see if we've got a wobble on the crank. That's probably going to be the most significant thing of all of this, really, whether the engine has to come out and get the crank reworked. I'll explain that later. For now, it's just a worry up here, but we'll get on with it. See what's what tomorrow night and with Joe on Saturday. So that's it for now. I'm probably going to post this, so I'll check out for now. This is Duncan for MG Stories. Back to the studio.